Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. From Kinnick Stadium here at Iowa, we're ready for a battle in the Big Ten as number 4 Michigan comes into town to take on the hometown Iowa Hawkeyes. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt. And welcome to Iowa City, folks. Michigan comes into this game undefeated. Tough win last week at home against Maryland. This is their first road game, a big road game.
Yep.
And it's the first road game for starting quarterback J.J. McCarthy.
And it's just going to feel different for him. We know he's got all the talent in the world, but today he faces his toughest test of his college career. This Iowa defense is stout. They are really good at getting those turnovers and making young quarterbacks uncomfortable. The goal for J.J. McCarthy today, it's not about being flashy. It's about not turning the ball over. And on the defensive side, Gus, we've got a star budding before our eyes, the former wide receiver, Mike Sainristil. This guy moves over from the offensive side, and now he's becoming one of the best defenders on this very good Wolverine defense. 15 tackles, 2 sacks. Those 2 sacks are tied for the team lead. Watch number 0 fly around today. It's something to watch.
As for Iowa, the offense started slowly this season. However, Spencer Petras, their quarterback, he's starting to improve.
Yep.
But the heart, the soul, the spirit of this Iowa team is their defense.
And that's what the quarterback has to protect. You know, it's a different job here at Iowa to be the quarterback, and Spencer Petras is going to have to protect that defense, take care of the ball, possess the ball, win the time of possession. Understand that if you can win the field position battle, that is a good thing. Why? Because this defense is bad. I mean, they are bad. They've got some great players on that side. Jack Campbell, the middle linebacker, a very good secondary. They have been flying around all season long. They outscored their offense in week 1. Last week against Rutgers, 2 defensive TDs. If they want to upset the Michigan Wolverines today, this defense is going to have to play a lights out their best game of the year.
All right, top 5 teams have had problems in recent years here in Iowa City. Let's see what happens. And for more on that, let's go downstairs to the 3rd member of our team on the sideline, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, Gus, Coach Harbaugh has never won here at Kinnick Stadium as a player or as a coach. And when he was asked about this place this week, he said, this is where top 5 teams go to die, right? He has always respected Coach Ferentz and what he does with his team. They're a kind of group that improves every single week. Iowa has won 5 of their last 6 games against top 5 opponents at home in front of this incredible crowd. And Coach Ferentz said that yesterday the fans will be crucial, but we have to do all the little things right to win this one. Every fan in this stadium is looking to disrupt Michigan's offense, including running back Blake Corum, who's leading the country with 9 rushing touchdowns right now. And he told me this week he's ready for the challenge, reminding his teammates, we are the top-ranked team. They want us. We have to keep the title that we have, whether it's our house or theirs.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. What a beautiful day here in Iowa City. Perfect weather conditions, not hot, nice little breeze, sun is out, and we're ready for Big Ten football on Fox. Iowa won the toss, deferred. Michigan will receive. Roman Wilson is the deep man for the Wolverines. Hawkeyes, Wolverines, and we're underway from Iowa City. And this ball kick out of the end zone for a touchback, and that'll bring on J.J. McCarthy. Didn't have great numbers last week. Fumbled it twice, but did not turn it over. No interceptions on the season. Big test for this young man.
And his ability to stay patient is what's going to ultimately be tested. He's got to throw it on time and on target. Reggie touched on it in the pregame show. Tips and overthrows. That's where the Iowa defense wants to get the quarterback in order to create turnovers.
First down and 10 at the 25 for Michigan. And they'll hand it off straight ahead. This is Corum. He'll pick up about 4 yards on the play. Let's take a look at this Michigan offense.
Boy, that offensive line was something else last week. McCarthy had all sorts of time, and obviously what Corum did on the ground was helped out by those 5 guys up front. Oluwatimi probably the best as the center. And then on the outside, folks, they are fast, and they've got a veteran in Ronnie Bell that is primed for a huge season.
Remember, Corum last week against Maryland, 30 carries, 243 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 6 at the 29. Corum again looking for daylight, and he has some room, and he'll pick up the first down after a gain of 7 defensively for the Hawkeyes.
The #1 scoring defense in the land. Their front 7 is really where their strength is at. They can get after the quarterback. They stop the run. Jack Campbell, folks. He's going to be all over the field. And in the back end, they are fast and they make plays. Watch out for Cooper DeJean. He is a playmaker on the 3rd level.
Had an interception return for a touchdown last week against Rutgers. 1st down and 10 at the 36. McCarthy, timing pattern, has his man. Roman Wilson gets out of bounds as he crosses the 42. And one thing about this Michigan offense, they've got some speed at the receiver position.
They absolutely do. And that's one thing that you get the sense that they're going to be able to take advantage of at times this season, is the ability to get vertical and use J.J. McCarthy's arm to get down the field.
2nd down and 3 at the 43. Opening series for the Wolverines. Major challenge for sophomore quarterback J.J. McCarthy, making his first career road start. Here's McCarthy, and he'll run it himself. Tucks it up, gets outside, and goes out of bounds close to midfield.
This is something that Michigan has not had to feature yet this year, is J.J.'s ability to run and be a threat with his legs in the run game. But you get the sense that against this defense in this moment today, McCarthy will have to insert himself into the run game like you see right there, moving the chains.
McCarthy on the season has rushed for 78 yards, and he has 1 rushing touchdown. 1st down and 10 at the 49. Here's McCarthy, sprints out of the pocket, tries to square his shoulders, throws on the run, and he has his man at the 36. Nicely done. Roman Wilson going up high in front of Cooper DeJean. Well, the Wolverines having no problems moving the ball on their opening series. That's a gain of 14.
And a really good catch right there from Roman Wilson. He goes up kind of back shoulder right in front of DeJean. He's able to haul it in, and another first down. Like you said, great series so far for Michigan.
1st down at the 37-yard line of Iowa for the Wolverines. Donovan Edwards, who's been out because of injuries, in the lineup today. He's in the backfield, and they'll swing it out to him in space. Hits the sideline hard and goes down at the 35. Picks up a couple. Sebastian Castro there defensively for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, another guy in there was Kayvon Merriweather, Gus, and Merriweather is a guy we were able to sit with yesterday. What an impressive young man he is. Very intelligent in the back end as a safety. Gets him lined up back there, and he will come up and thump you. He is not afraid to get up there and mix it up physically.
Ran a fumble recovery back last week, 30 yards for a touchdown against Rutgers. 2nd and 7 at the 34. And here's the handoff straight ahead. Blake Corum slashing his way through, gains 6 yards. Stopped on the play by Seth Benson.
Watch the patience from Corum as he's just going to get a little bit of a jump step right when he gets the ball right there, and he allows the blocks to set up, and then he explodes through the middle to create a short yardage situation here on 3rd down.
3rd down and 1 at the 28-yard line of the Hawkeyes. For the Wolverines, this series started at their own 25. This is the 8th play of the drive. Corum remains in the backfield with McCarthy. Low snap handled. They give it to Corum looking for the first down, and he has it. As he plows forward, Blake Corum, just a little tank in there, folks. 5'8", 210 pounds, and he's an Iron Man.
Look at the push, too, that they're getting up front. Really good push from that left side of their offensive line. Last week, Trevor Keegan, Gus, did not play number 77, and so they had Giovanni El-Hodi in there. But this is a deep group and a very powerful group. It was voted the best offensive line in the country a year ago. Some think that they could be even better and more athletic this year.
1st down and 10 at the 26. Wilson in motion. McCarthy looks that way. He throws it, and incomplete. That ball intended for Ronnie Bell. Looks like Ronnie Bell wanted that ball in front of him, but it was a back shoulder throw.
You know, I thought it was the proper throw there from McCarthy. Ronnie wanted that up the field, but what he didn't see is Cooper DeJean, number 3, was baiting McCarthy into trying to throw this up the field. See, if that's led up the field, DeJean's going to make a play. He tried to go back shoulder, wasn't able to connect.
2nd and 10 of the 26. Donovan Edwards in motion in the backfield. Here's Edwards on the run. Huge hole. Breaks it back and goes down close to the 15-yard line. Should be enough for first down. Kayvon Merriweather with the tackle for the Hawkeyes.
Boy, I just love watching these running backs operate. And that's really what it is. It's not just their ability to run, but it's operating the system. The patience to allow the hole to develop up front, the blocks to set up, and then they explode, and they're able to get upfield, and there you see just the explosiveness of Edwards to move the chains.
First down and 10 to the 16. Corum back in the game. He's the single setback. This is his area. Here's the reverse. They get around the corner with Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell, touchdown, Wolverines. 16 yards. Michigan marches it right down the field on their opening series, and Ronnie Bell punches it in with a 16-yard reverse for a score. 11 plays, 75 yards. Wolverines up 6-0.
I mean, what a great job on the outside. First, you're going to see Cornelius Johnson, number 6. He's got a great block on Riley Moss, and then Schoonmaker, 86. There's the block late. Boom. He gets Quinn Schulte, the safety, and he springs Ronnie Bell for the touchdown.
Jake Moody, the Groza Award winner from a season ago, in for the extra point, and it's good. So Michigan takes a 7-0 lead. The offense looking very disciplined, in rhythm to start this game. Back to Iowa City right after this. Time for today's Game Flow, sponsored by Progressive. We're in Iowa City, folks. What a beautiful place. Incredible campus. Incredible people, kind and considerate, and the food is great. Ronnie Bell with his first career rushing touchdown for Michigan. He has a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown now. Remember, he missed most of last year with a severe knee injury suffered in the opener against Western Michigan. So Jake Moody sends it away for the Wolverines. Caleb Johnson is the deep man, and he has it inside his own 10. Trying to get to the sideline, but tracked down at the 20, and will go down around the 21-yard line. Mike Sainris still on special teams makes the tackle. So that brings out Spencer Petras, as we mentioned. Offense started off slowly this season, but he's starting to gain a little traction now.
They've changed their philosophy in the pass game and tried to help Spencer Petras be a little bit more consistent. He felt like the first 2 games it was very difficult for him to change that philosophy and how he kept the timing in his feet. But they feel like he turned a corner the last couple of weeks.
First down and 10 at the 21. LaShawn Williams in the backfield. They'll give it to him. He's got some room. And LaShawn Williams gets inside the 35 and gains 5. Let's take a look at this Iowa Hawkeyes offense.
This offensive line is young and trying to develop. They lost their all-world center from a year ago, Tyler Linderbaum, and so they're trying to get the reps necessary to become a dominant group up front. On the outside, they've also been banged up at wide receiver. Transfers left the program. Their best player on the outside, Sam Laporta. They do feel like they're healthier than they've been all year, though.
Second down and 5 at the 26. And they'll hand it off again. Caleb Johnson this time. He's a big back, 6 feet, 212, gains a yard. Michigan on defense.
Well, this is a defense that's built for speed. They have not showed the ability to get after the quarterback quite like they did a year ago, but that's to be expected without Aiden Hutchinson. What I love about them is their speed on the second level. Guys like Mike Sainris still, guys like Jamon Green and DJ Turner, RJ Moten and Rod Moore. It's a very athletic and quality secondary, and I think the best one, Gus, is Mike Sainris still.
Third down and 4 at the 27. Gavin Williams in the backfield now for the Hawks. Petras out of the gun, he'll throw it. Here's Petras to the sideline and incomplete. That ball intended for his tight end, Sam Laporta. Mike Sainris still covering defensively, and it's amazing what Sainris still has done. Last year, as you mentioned, a wide receiver. This year, he transfers over to the defensive side, and he's looking like an all-Big Ten first round, all-Big Ten first teamer already.
You know what I love about that is you understand the faith that the defense has in Mike Sainris still, because on the first third down of the game, you know they're going to go to the tight end Sam Laporta, and guess who got the assignment? Mike Sainris still in coverage on their best offensive player.
So Torrey Taylor, the punter, he's one of the best, if not the best in America. Punting from inside his own 10. A.J. Henning is back. He ran one back earlier this year against Connecticut. He'll start from the 21 and get chopped down immediately. great special teams play by the Hawkeyes, led by Cooper DeJean. 52-yard punt, no return. And here comes J.J. McCarthy back on the field for the Wolverines. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. And by Cadillac. Be iconic. Iowa has won 5 of their last 6 games versus top 5 teams at home, which is Coach Harbaugh wondering if Kinnick Stadium is the place top 5 teams come to die. There's some big names right there that have gone down here in Iowa City.
Look at that, 2017.
Ohio State.
Yeah, by 31.
Who was coaching that team?
I don't know. Must have been a tough night.
Yeah, some dude that won the national championship in 2014 named Urban. 1st and 10 of the 21. Corum in the backfield. Michigan marched it right down the field on their opening series with the Ronnie Bell reverse for a touchdown. From 16 yards, McCarthy over the middle, and it's caught at the 31-yard line. McCarthy did a nice job last week using his tight ends. Here's Luke Schoonmaker with his first catch of the day.
Yeah, Schoonmaker had 7 receptions last week, and there, great protection up front, and that is continued from a week ago. McCarthy had all day a week ago against Maryland and has it there on 1st down. What I loved is that he just calmly worked through his progression and found his tight end.
1st down and 10 at the 33. Schoonmaker getting a lot of burn with Eric All out with an injury. And Corum over the right side. Positive yardage for Corum.
Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. And I can tell you a guy who went above and beyond was Blake Corum last week. Gus, he was sensational. Best player on the field, there's no doubt. Single game history already this year. 5 rushing touchdowns against UConn, 243 rush yards against Maryland, most since 2010. He was doing some work.
2nd and 3 at the 40-yard line. McCarthy underneath again, and he has Schoonmaker. So looking at J.J. McCarthy, last week he said, you know, he was a little amped up. His arm was feeling great. He was throwing it at about 110%. Now he knows that he has to take something off the ball. He missed 3 targets that were big targets for maybe big plays.
Yeah.
What should we pay attention to when we watch this young man? He's young, a sophomore, develop and try to lead this team.
How quickly he is processing information, getting through his progressions, and then throwing the ball on time right when he hits that back foot of his drop.
Here's a handoff, Corum. And Corum turns it up, gets across the midfield line. Stopped by Jay Higgins after gain of 6. Anything else?
Well, this run game, it's already helping because you're not going to have to throw in what I would call obvious situations as a quarterback if your run game is able to go out there and average over 7 a pop, which it's already doing so far in these opening couple of series. The other part, Gus, is ball placement, accuracy. You cannot overthrow or throw it behind wide receivers against Iowa. That's when the tips happen, that's when the overthrows happen, and that's when they turn you over.
2nd and 4 at the 49. And McCarthy will give it away again to Corum. Corum pushing the pile forward, and he may have another 1st down. I guess when you have a guy like Blake Corum, and folks, let me tell you about this number 2. He is on his way to greatness.
What I love about him, Gus, is that he's not that big. He's 5'8", 210, but he runs so tough, so much bigger than that. And he's what I would call is a plus runner. If the offensive line blocks it for 4, he gets 6. If they block it for 6, he gets 10. They block it for 10, he's hitting his head on the goalpost, and he's going to score it. He's a plus runner.
1st down to the 45. McCarthy slipping, and he'll go down. Looks like he may have tripped over the foot of either one of his offensive linemen or Corum.
I think Zach Zinter, 65, the right guard, stepped with his left foot and just caught J.J. McCarthy. Couldn't get himself away from the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what this defense needs to get him in that obvious situation. Here's 65. Look at that. Just stepped right on his ankle. Certainly doesn't feel good and presents a long yardage situation for Michigan's offense.
So they lose 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 15 at midfield. Second series of the game for the Wolverines. McCarthy out of the gun. McCarthy hit as he throws underneath to Donovan Edwards. Not a lot of room. Great pursuit, great gang tackling led by Seth Benson. Merriweather there also.
Well, they brought the pressure there, trying to get the ball out of McCarthy's hands as quickly as possible. I would expect that again from this Phil Parker-led defense for Iowa. When they get into long yardage passing situations, they love to pressure the quarterback in order to make him make a quick decision and get the ball out of his hands.
Fans starting to get into it now for the Hawkeyes. Third down and 12 at the 47. Donovan Edwards checks back in. He's great receiving the ball. Here's McCarthy. Scrambles out of the pocket. Makes a move. Cuts it up. Not enough for the first down. Tripped up by Jay Higgins after a 3-yard gain. So Michigan has a decision to make. Do they punt it or try a long field goal? Jake Moody tied his career high last week against Maryland with a 52-yarder, but they will punt it away.
I think this is the right call, Gus. Obviously, this would be just over 60 yards. You're stretching the distance of your field goal opportunity. But remember, Iowa's offense has struggled. Michigan's defense is playing very well. Play the field position game here if you're Jim Harbaugh, and that's what they're going to do.
Brad Robbins, one of the best punters in the Big Ten, standing at his own 42. Arlen Bruce is the deep man inside his own 10 for Iowa. End over end kick. See if this one has some English on it if it bounces. And it doesn't, but Bruce with the fair catch at the 9, a 35-yard punt. Coming up, the Iowa offense on the field, down 7-zip. Big Noon right here, and Big Ten fans, pick up your phone now and download Fox Bet Super 6 for a chance to win $10,000. Just enter today's Big Noon contest and pick the 6 outcomes you think will happen. And if all 6 are right, you could win big. Iowa takes over at the 9, first down and 10 for Spencer Petras. And Petras over the right side. Williams leans forward, picks up about 3 yards on the play. Junior Colson there defensively for Michigan.
Important for Iowa to reestablish some field position on this drive. You know, their architecture of a win and all these upsets in this stadium is winning the field position game, making the opposition earn their way down the field, and then possessing the ball from the time of possession perspective. And so far, 18 snaps for Michigan, only 4 for Iowa.
2nd and 7 at the 12. Here's Petras rolling out. Petras looking, dumps it, and incomplete. Flag on the play.
He was looking for Brody Brecht, number 14.
Prior to the pass, holding defense number 19, 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So Brody Brecht was trying to run an out route, and he's going to hit Rod Moore. Watch Rod Moore, number 19 right here. They kind of make some contact. Brecht goes down, and then the flag comes out. Petras was trying to go to him right away, but you see very good coverage. Flag comes out with that contact. And a bit of a hold there, and that gives Iowa now a little breathing room on this offensive series, trying to get it away outside of their own 10, try to establish the field position, and get Michigan pinned back inside their own 20, their own 15 on their next offensive series.
First down to the 22. Caleb Johnson checks in at running back now.
Iowa, the first of the half.
All right, 2:26 to go in the first quarter. Michigan up 7-0 on the road. Iowa with the timeout. Back to Iowa City after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. And by Under Armour, the only way is through. At the end of the quarter, we'll have one of the more emotional traditions in college football. The fans and players turn their attention away from the field to recognize the kids watching from Iowa University's Children's Hospital. And this is what J.J. McCarthy had to say about that tradition. At the end of the day, football is just an amazing game that we get to play. It's just really awesome to be able to include them as well. Here's Petrus over the middle, and he's got his receiver. Lachey, huge gain as he crosses the 45 and picks up 25. R.J. Moten with the tackle.
Really good job by Petrus to find his second man in the progression. That was Luke Lachey over the middle. Lachey was starting to drift into some coverage, but Petrus did a great job putting that on his back shoulder, creating another first down. And now, Gus, they've done exactly what I said the objective was. Flip the field. Now it's about going down and getting some points.
1st and 10 at the 48. And they'll give it to Johnson. And Johnson will get a yard on the play before being knocked backwards, maybe 2. Mason Graham defensively for the Wolverines.
I really like this defensive line. Gus, they might not have Aiden Hutchinson or David Ajabo, but they're better in the interior. Mozzie Smith, Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, the freshman, 317 pounds. They have got some grown men on the interior of this defense, and I think it's going to be very difficult to run the ball on them.
2nd down and 8 at the 50. Play action. Petrus rolling out. Dumps it down. Has Laporta. And Laporta looks like he'll get that first down. Michael Barrett knocks him out of play.
You know, patience is such an underrated trait from players that aren't the quarterback. Watch Laporta. Look how long he hangs on that block. He's blocking Mason Graham. He hangs on it, then finds himself in the flat. That creates the space for an easy completion.
Laporta looking to follow the footsteps of 49ers George Kittle, the Lions T.J. Hawkinson, and the Seahawks Noah Fant. 1st and 10 at the 42. Petrus over the middle, incomplete. He had his man. That would have been Lachey, who was wide open, but Petrus throws it high.
Well, they're going to work on the safety here, and they got this outside fade, and then they're trying to go on the inside. It's called 2 up on the half, and he's got him. All you got to do is clear the linebacker. That ball's got to be just driven down on the face mask of the tight end, going right up that near side seam, and it just sails on Petrus. He's going to want that one back. Beautiful concept. Got to hit that one.
Second and 10. Petrus sprints out, throws on the move, and another high throw. Brody Breck, the target. And here come the fans. Some of the fans very critical of Spencer Petrus and his play to start this season. They have called for Alex Padilla, the backup quarterback, to get an opportunity to get on the field.
And, you know, when you talk with the coaches, they would say that, listen, Spencer and Brian Ferentz told us this. He's been playing better. He's been developing much better in this philosophy of keeping the timing in his feet. And the bottom line is that he has not had a great offense around him so far this year. Underdeveloped on the offensive line, Gus, and banged up on the outside.
3rd down and 10 at the 42. Empty backfield for Petrus. Here's Spencer Petrus. Wants to throw it over the middle. And incomplete. Laporta the target. Great defense. Makari Page, number 7 there. And Iowa will have to punt it away.
Watch this. They're going to double cover the tight end. Why? Because they know that Iowa loves to go to the tight end on 3rd downs. He's double covered, and still Petrus wants to go there. And then there's the pressure right when he lets go of the ball. Mozzie Smith, that's 337 pounds coming down on your chest.
So Iowa turned away. Torrey Taylor punting it from the 44. And this one trickles into the end zone for a touchback. Join Fox Corporation in donating to support those affected by the devastation of Hurricane Ian. Please visit www.redcross.org or text the word Ian to 90999 to make a $10 donation.
Those images from the Gulf Coast, I mean, my goodness, that west side of Florida, and everyone now dealing with the torrential rains in the Carolinas. Just horrible stuff.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by Hurricane Ian. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Michigan. McCarthy and Corum. Corum the pistol back. And they'll give it to him running left this time. And Blake Corum gains 5. Deontay Craig with the tackle. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter. And we're going to stay right here as we prepare for one of the great emotional traditions in college football, the wave. Here we go.
Today's song was chosen by our kid captain, Anthony, who selected one shining moment. Let's send our encouragement to the kids and their families watching the game.
How can you not love the great traditions here in the United States of America? We love our kids. Back after this.
This October on Fox and FS1, the National League's biggest stars lead their teams in a fight for the crown.
Nothing better than October.
The NLDS, October 11th on Fox and FS1.
Big News Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Kinnick Stadium here in Iowa City as the Michigan Wolverines have the football at the 25 and the lead 7-0. Second down and 5. Here's McCarthy to the sideline. Nice timing pattern to make that Ronnie Bell with the catch. He gets out of play, picks up a first down. A gain of 9 yards.
And that's what this defense forces you to do, is just take what they're going to give you. And that one was a nice little hitch route into the short side of the field. I think Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator for Iowa, he's probably the most underrated defensive coordinator in America. And he talks all about limiting explosives. He feels like if they just make a team earn their way down the field, limit those big plays, that they're going to have a good chance to win.
First down and 10 at the 34. And Donovan Edwards. Nice catch out of the backfield, chased out by Jay Higgins. And explosive plays, folks. And I'm talking to my mom. Mom, an explosive play is 20 or more yards.
And the way that Phil Parker defines it for his defense, which is specific to Iowa, is 25 or more yards. And he feels like if they allow 2 or less, Gus, that they're going to have a good chance to win. They're going to give up somewhere around 13, 15 points. But if they give up more than 2, it's a good chance they're going to lose the game.
Second and 3 at the 41. No 25 yards plays for Michigan so far. Donovan Edwards. First down, Wolverines. And I think this Michigan team, because they're so confident in their run game, they don't have any problems cobbling together a drive to go down the field.
Well, I think that's what was so important as far as a lesson learned from a week ago. Maryland was forcing them to just kind of earn their way down the field and taking away some of those deep passes, making McCarthy hold the ball. So what did they have to do? They had to rely on the run game, and they did. Corum, 30 rushes for over 200 yards.
First and 10 at the 46. Feels like it's almost time for McCarthy to take a shot down the field. And he'll hand it off. Edwards, wow, nice burst. First down, DeJean with the tackle. It'll gain 12, maybe not.
Iowa gets caught here with their vision in the wrong spot. That's the outside linebacker, and he's looking all over the wide receivers trying to look him up. Didn't have his eyes inside. That's Seth Benson. He's got to be aware of that run game fit so he can come up and help support in the run game, which he wasn't able to do.
First down to the 42. Corum back in. Three receivers at the top of your screen. Cornelius Johnson at the bottom. McCarthy with time. Unloads. McCarthy! Oh, overthrown again. He had Roman Wilson wide open. You knew it was almost time for him to take a shot. But J.J. having a problem with his touch.
He missed him last week. This one was oh so close, just out of the reach of Roman Wilson, who is a burner. He can fly, and when they want to take a shot deep, boy, they've got guys that can get behind the defense, and there they had it open, and they were unable to hit it again.
2nd down and 10 at the 42. He missed 3 big ones like that last week against Maryland. Corum with daylight. Corum spun down. Noah Shannon with the tackle for Iowa, but it's a gain of 7.
Well, you can take those shots when you can come right back to the run game and get it done on the ground. But here, a big 3rd down opportunity, and this is where Iowa's defense, they have got to bow up and force Michigan into a decision about a field goal opportunity.
3rd down and 3 at the 35. Corum, 9 carries, 48 yards already. Corum looking for the first, hops through the hole, and I don't know. It'll be close, depending on the spot.
Looks like he needs to get all the way to that 32-yard line, but they're so close. I think that either way, and it does look like it's just a bit short, they're going to stay on the field offensively and go for it here on 4th down. Corum tried to go up and over. Good push from that offensive line, just not quite enough. And now, here we go, 4th down.
4th down and 1 at the Iowa 33. Michigan up 7-zip. Corum remains in the game. Corum on the give, and it's a 1st down, Michigan.
The ball carrier.
Corum's just trying to read any sort of space that he can get from the offensive line. And as they block down into the left, he's going to see that he gets a little bit of daylight right there in the middle. Trente Jones, 53, he pushes his man down closer to the ball, and that provides a little bit of sunshine, and Blake Corum decides to lower those pads and move the chains.
Corum will take a blow. Donovan Edwards back in. 10th play of the drive. 1st down at the 30. Edwards skipping. Pick up 2. Shannon to tackle.
And they are committed right now defensively to stop this run game. And Phil Parker is sending those safeties closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. And you're going to see another one of those shots coming up here soon, Gus. A little play action. You're going to try to sneak a tight end or one of those receivers on a nice corner or an over route. They're going to be taking a shot here soon.
Michigan already with 102 yards rushing. 2nd and 8 at the 28. McCarthy, quick fire this time. Underneath, Roman Wilson with the grab, and he got crunched. Cooper DeJean, 4-yard gain.
Well, Iowa brought a blitz on that side, but they do such a good job of rotating in the secondary. And so if there's a blitz coming from that side, there's probably a corner coming down over the top of it. That was DeJean, and he puts the big hit on Roman Wilson. And now another 3rd down opportunity for this defense to try to get off the field.
Michigan 1 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. Remember, J.J. McCarthy's got great wheels. He can run. And here comes the option. Corum caught and knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. That's Captain Jack right there, folks. Captain Jack Campbell, first team all Big Ten linebacker. He is a bad man.
I love this guy. Watch how quickly he reads this. And the problem here is that you didn't get any sort of inside move there from the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. So he just pitches that ball out, and Campbell doesn't have to make a decision whether to go for the quarterback or the pitch man. He can just race right through both and go to the ball carrier. Great stop.
So Jake Moody comes in to attempt a 44-yarder. Brad Robbins is his holder. Moody Tied a career high last week at home against Maryland with a 52-yarder. Clean snap, good hold, Jake Moody. And it's good. Jake Moody connects from 44 yards away. Michigan takes a 10-0 lead with 8:28 to go here in the second. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Allstate, reminding you that football season is mayhem. And by Edward Jones, life is for living. Let's partner for all of it. Welcome back to Iowa City, where football is a huge, huge thing here. Hawkeyes first began playing football in 1892. They have 5 claimed national championships. Most recently in 1960, 13 conference championships. Most recently in 2004. And 1 Heisman winner. That man was named Niall Kinnick, who the stadium is named after, back in 1939. Harbaugh grew up a little bit here in Iowa.
He did. And he was around here as a little kid, even at one point as a ball boy for the Hawkeyes. Father was a coach here in Iowa City. Of course, his father coached everywhere, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was a traveling man.
That's right.
All right, so Iowa lets it go into the end zone for a touchback. We'll step away momentarily. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. And by Cerveza Dos Equis. Get a dose. Please drink responsibly. 20 years ago, Iowa went undefeated in the Big Ten and were crowned conference champions. The 2002 team was honored here today.
How about Brad Banks that year? Finished second? Didn't he finish second in the Heisman to Carson Palmer?
Yes, he did.
How about that?
First down for the Hawkeyes. Let's see if they can get this offense moving. As Petrus rolls out of the pocket, he'll dump it down to Laporta. And Laporta will get 8 yards. Get him close to first down. Junior Colson with the tackle.
Pacific Life Game Summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. And what you're going to see here so far, it's been about Michigan's ability to possess the football. Almost 17 and a half minutes for Michigan and only a little over 4 for Iowa. They have got to sustain a drive here, getting some groans from the crowd, and certainly need to create some first downs.
Williams crosses the line of scrimmage. He's close to that first down marker. Makari Page stuffs the hole, but it's a first down Hawkeyes.
And you get those smattering of applause now, but a sustained possession is really key here for Iowa. Protect that defense. That defense has already had to defend 31 snaps. Iowa has only run 12 plays so far today, so it's important for Petrus and this Iowa group to sustain a few more first downs here.
First down and 10 at the 35. Second man through. Johnson. Caleb Johnson with a huge hole. And Caleb Johnson gains 18 yards. That Iowa offensive line starting to fire off the ball, but there is a flag on the play.
That one's all the way back.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Got Jennings Dunker, number 67. He was playing left guard. And all the way on the left side of your screen, you see the fighting going on. It was a really nice run from Caleb Johnson. I like his game a lot. But as Dunker is working there on the interior, you can see those hands outside, brings the Wolverine down to the ground, and the flag comes out. And what would have been a great run now backs him all the way up.
First penalty of the game for the Hawkeyes. Caleb Johnson remains in the game, although they wiped out that 18-yard gain. First down and 20. Petrus looking. Petrus moving his feet in the pocket. Nicely done. And he completes it to Brecht for first down. 19-yard gain.
Great job of manipulating the pocket here from Petrus. He's going to get some pressure right in his face. There's the pressure from Mozzie Smith, and he just steps away and comes right back to his progression and delivers a beautiful ball right down the middle of the field. And it's actually going to be about a yard short, but after that penalty backed him way up. Beautiful completion to Brecht, and now it's 2nd and short.
Brody Brecht getting extended time because of injuries. And this is Johnson, 1st down.
This offense is always going to be as good as the running back that they have to feature in the backfield. And I think Caleb Johnson will eventually be that guy. He's just a freshman, 6 foot, 212 pounds, and he's a guy that's starting to pop when you watch the film of this Iowa offense. I thought he played well last week.
From Hamilton, Ohio, 1st and 10 at the 46. And they'll give it to Johnson again. Bounces it outside, flag on the play. And Johnson goes out of bounds, close to the 45. Rod Moore, the safety, ushering him out of play.
Personal foul. Clipping. Offense number 77. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
They're going to go right here. This is what they're going to call, and this is Connor Colby, really good offensive lineman. Watch as he's going to go, and he's just going to chop down the defensive lineman. I mean, I honestly, I don't think that's a penalty. You can do that. He's starting inside the tackle box. He can get him from the side there on an initial charge. And that's the key, is on an initial charge, which that certainly was. That's a stretch zone. And
they're 2nd of the half.
I think that's why Iowa is calling a timeout. Kirk Ferentz wants an explanation, and he should try to get it, because that was not a penalty. Poor call by the officials. Backs Iowa up.
Early offensive issues for the Hawkeyes here in Iowa City. They're down 10-0. Rob Stone here with you. Coming up on the State Farm halftime. Hot start for Ole Miss in their top 15 showdown with Kentucky, Oklahoma. They tried to get a bounce-back win after falling last weekend and rode that boat. Minnesota with wind at their backs, trying to go to 5-0. Guys, we'll see you at the break.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. 5:42 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Michigan with a 10-0 lead. Iowa with the football. 1st and 25. At their own 31. Petrus, sideline, high throw, but caught. And that one caught by Nico Reganey. Let's bring in Mike Pereira to discuss that clipping penalty. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, Gus, I mean, and Joel covered it perfectly. You know, they have tightened up when you can go low in blocks, but in the initial charge, you can go low and you can go to the side. You can't come from behind. He called it clip, saying that the actual contact was from behind, but you get a look here that Colby is on the side, and therefore, to me, Coach Ferentz has a gripe. I think it's a legal block.
All right, thank you, Mike. LaShawn Williams running it, pick up 2.
And it's just such a killer to this offense in particular, because they don't have the type of firepower to overcome those type of penalties. So it goes 1st and 25. Here's another look. Connor Colby. He's clearly from the side, even all the way in front. I mean, he's hitting the quads. He's hitting basically the thigh pads of Mason Graham, 55, and that certainly derailed this drive.
3rd down and 12. From the 44, Gavin Williams in at running back. Petrus drops it off. Williams, a screen, but he goes nowhere. What a job. Taylor Upshaw, the graduate transfer. And that's a loss of 3.
Well, here's Upshaw, and watches. He's just going to screen down the line of scrimmage right there, and he's going kind of on a stunt, but then he sees something's up. He's like, hey, why are these guys releasing down the line of scrimmage? And he immediately looks up for the back, and there's the back on the screen, and Upshaw is there to make the tackle on 3rd down.
Tory Taylor comes back in to punt. Iowa having a problem moving the ball on these Wolverines. Tory Taylor, he'll punt it from the 25. Line drive punt this time. Henning with it at the 9. Tries to get outside. Still on the move. And A.J. Henning, nice return as he runs through contact. A 51-yard punt, a 12-yard return. Michigan defense starting to step it up. Wolverines up 10-zip. The Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway is back and making college students' dreams come true. Enter on TikTok before October 12th. See full rules at drpeppertuition.com. What really is TikTok? Is that like Instagram? Is that like Twitter?
I don't know, man, but they all watch it all day.
They do. I know I heard that all the kids. Some good dances on there. First down and 10 to the 22. McCarthy swings it out to Corum in the flats. He'll cross the line of scrimmage and pick up positive yards after going down at the 30, a gain of 8. Let's go downstairs to Jenny. What do you got?
Well, Gus, I'm always here to help. What is TikTok? Let me answer that for you. So it's what all the young guys are doing. All the kids, they love it. It's quick videos, lots of dances, but it's creative. So it's anything you want. If you like watching football, it's going to tailor it so you always get football videos. I do have a TikTok. No dancing, Gus, but I'm going to probably get you on there later, so be ready.
All right. Do you have to pay for it?
Oh, no. It's free.
Okay, 2nd and 2. That means it's for me. And they hand it off. Corum.
I knew that was coming.
First down.
I knew that was coming right there.
I'm going to have to get on TikTok.
Is that what
That's what I'm going to do.
Listen, people hit me up on Twitter all the time. They're like, where's Gus? Get Gus on Twitter.
Those people are mean on Twitter. I can't mess with them.
Get on TikTok where it's all like rainbows and dances.
There you go. That's my kind of stuff. Rainbows. Bobby pins and jelly beans. First down and 10 at the 33. Wolverines up 10-0. J.J. McCarthy slings it. Corum out of the backfield. 1-yard gain. Seth Benson with the tackle. That'll bring up 2nd down and long.
You know what's so interesting right now is J.J. McCarthy is trying so hard to get Iowa to show their hand here. Watch as most snaps he comes up and he fake claps like he's trying to get them to move in order to get out of their disguise and show what coverage that they're actually in. Of course, he won't do this if he's under center like he is now.
2nd and 9 at the 34. And they'll hand it off to Corum. Corum churning his legs backwards. It'll pick up the first down. Joel, what's the difference in college football now? Guys rarely ever take the snap from under center. Why is that?
Well, it's just the nature. I mean, that's the same in the NFL as well. When you really look and you break it down, 65-70% of snaps are taken from the shotgun. And I think it's the nature of the sport in order to get completions quickly made on the exterior of the defense. There, a deep shot down. Got it. Finally got one down the field.
Nicely done, Andrell Anthony. With a 29-yard gain. There's your first big play against the Iowa defense.
And it starts because he kind of pumps on the outside to try to get that defense to bite a little bit, just a bit. And then he gets the separation for Anthony down the field, and he's able to get the completion.
Andrell Anthony, limited playing time this season. And McCarthy will get out of bounds with under a minute to go. And a flag.
I think they're going to get Michigan on a hold out here.
Holding. Offense number 0. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Darius Clemens, the true freshman from Portland, Oregon. And he's on the outside, and right in your middle of your screen, holding Cooper DeJean, clearly has a hold of his jersey as McCarthy is trying to get out to the outside, and that'll back the Wolverines up.
The penalty will give McCarthy and the offense a little more space. First down and 17 at the 33. Let's see if they take a shot. McCarthy hit as he throws, incomplete. Good pressure in the backfield by that Iowa defense. And that's led by Lucas Van Ness.
Tell you what, Van Ness, I thought he was going to have a shot to get to McCarthy But McCarthy held the ball because his tight end fell down, and that's what allowed Van Ness to get back there into the pocket. He was also held. Michigan got away with a hold on Ryan Hayes, 76. That's why Van Ness actually slowed a beat before getting to the quarterback.
This is the 20th play in Iowa territory for Michigan. 2nd and 17. McCarthy underneath, and it's incomplete again. Ronnie Bell the target, and a late flag throw. Quinn Schulte in coverage with Sebastian Castro.
They're going to get Castro here.
Pass interference. Defense number 29. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That's Castro.
Well, they're trying to get this inside slant route. You can see Ronnie Bell is trying to get there, and then that left hand just kind of there. Don't agree with the call. Iowa fans don't agree with the call. I felt like he went up and over the wide receiver, and that gives him an automatic first down. And clearly this sideline not happy with what's going on with his officiating crew. They have missed some offensive line calls. They missed the holding on Hayes, and that one right there, I did not feel like that was pass interference.
Michigan is in Jake Moody field goal range. First down at the Iowa 29. McCarthy with the handoff to Corum. And Corum, another burst. Jack Campbell with the tackle. He gains 8. And Michigan calls a timeout.
Michigan, the first of the half. 30-second timeout.
Now tomorrow, it's a classic NFC East rivalry on Fox, as Carson Wentz leads Washington against Zeke and the Cowboys. Or other regional action. It all kicks off at 1 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Aiden Hutchinson, 3 sacks already, and he's a rookie. Tyler Linderbaum, former Iowa Hawkeye, already playing big minutes, 103 snaps.
That Iowa offensive line certainly misses him, and now with 43 seconds to go, Iowa, their entire focus on this defensive series is about forcing Michigan into a field goal opportunity. Michigan still a couple of timeouts. They can work whatever they want to. Hand the ball off, play action. Their entire playbook is at their disposal.
2nd down and 2 at the 21. And it's Corum. Almost popped that one through. Seth Benson with the tackle. First down at the 6. So from a passing game perspective, what kind of stuff do you want to run when you get this close?
Well, when you get down here, what you're trying to do is put the second level in conflict, a little play action, and get right behind him.
Here's McCarthy rolling out, sidearms it. Caught at the 11 by Roman Wilson.
A.J. McCarthy's pass is complete to Roman Wilson. Timeout.
Michigan calls their 2nd timeout of the first half.
30-second timeout.
Concentration there from Roman Wilson. He's able to go get that ball and corral it, but because he can't get outside and out of bounds, they've got to use that timeout.
So don't forget, you can find all of Joel's Breaking the Huddle content, including his weekly top 10 rankings, at foxsports.com, the Fox Sports app, and CFB on Fox social platforms. Breaking the Huddle with Joel Klatt.
They've got to find a way to get them to kick a field goal. And because of that, you just get the sense that Michigan is looking for that opportunity to sneak one of these wide receivers behind the safety. And the way that you do that, or a tight end, by the way you do that is you go heavy play action. Try to get, like, for instance, Quinn Schulte. You're trying to get him down, and you're trying to get Schoonmaker out like this on a corner.
2nd and 7 at the 12. McCarthy looking, sidearms it inside the 5, incomplete. Schoonmaker was the target. And that brings up 3rd down and 7. Wolverines still with an opportunity to get a first down on this drive.
That was one of the first ones today I felt like McCarthy forced. Schoonmaker is trying to work to the outside, but he actually had Corum open on the right side. And you still got that one timeout left if you're Michigan. But right here, it's all about trying to get that first down at a minimum.
3rd down and 7 at the 12. Blake Corum in at running back. McCarthy calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. And the play clock winds down.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
That is a huge error right there.
Like, for example, McCarthy trying to get that play off. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Tom Brady take a delay of game penalty, and it kind of cost him the game.
Yeah.
What was Tom Brady trying to do there?
Well, I think that the quarterback just loses track of the play clock. You know, and you got to know where it is.
The play clock's
number one.
right in front of you.
It's right, but it's already running down right now. You know, and so they're going to hold him because they're just out here, and now he's got to see it, and he's got to get that ball snapped immediately. 3rd down and 12.
They snap it in time. McCarthy off his back foot to the corner. Batted up and incomplete. Roman Wilson, the intended receiver, but Sebastian Castro was there defensively for the Hawkeyes, and Michigan will settle for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, and really for the first time today, some poor execution here from Michigan at the tail end of this series after moving the ball really well. And Iowa probably gets away with a little bit of contact there, but they do a great job defensively of at least just forcing this to be a field goal opportunity for Michigan rather than letting them go in and score a touchdown here next to the half.
So Moody's been good from 44 yards away. This one from 35 yards. On the right hash. High snap, kicked. And good. Jake Moody, 2 for 2. So with 9 seconds remaining in the first half, Michigan, the number 4th ranked team in the country. The Wolverines taking a 13-0 lead. And don't forget, at the half, Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Reggie Bush, Matty Fresh, and Urban Meyer are standing by with the State Farm halftime show right here from Kinnick Stadium.
You know, this game is just playing out on Michigan's terms. And Iowa, you know, they've got to play on their terms. For example, possess the football, time of possession. Well, Michigan has run 26 more plays than the Iowa Hawkeyes. Total yards, 236 for Michigan, 85 for Iowa. And it's just not going to cut it. Iowa is going to have to make some serious adjustments at half. They've had only 3 possessions, Gus. So it's been Michigan's ability to sustain drives against this defense that has really allowed them to play the game completely on their terms.
Jake Moody. Caleb Johnson, the deep man, lets it go over his head for a touchback. So 9 seconds remaining in the first half. Iowa down 13-0. Iowa Hawkeyes offense pedestrian at best.
1st and 10 for the Hawkeyes at their 25-yard line.
Petrus 6 for 10, 68 yards. Hawkeyes have rushed for only 17 yards. Conversely, Michigan with 131 yards rushing in the first half. Hawkeyes will get the ball to start the second half. And they fake a knee. Not a lot there, and that should take us to the end of the first half, and it does. And Sean Williams running. Petrus and the Hawkeyes heading back into the locker room. They've got to figure some things out. Different story for the Wolverines. They lead it 13-0. Don't forget, after the break, join Rob Stone and the guys with the State Farm halftime show right here from Kinnick Stadium. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Welcome back to Kinnick Stadium here in Iowa City with the Michigan Wolverines in their first major road test of the year. Lead the Hawkeyes heading into the third quarter 13-0. nothing. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt. What do you think about the Michigan Wolverines in that first half?
They've been good. Balanced. I thought they were balanced on offense. They did a nice job of not putting J.J. McCarthy in a position where he had to force the ball and create a turnover. And then ultimately their defense was just suffocating, in particular that defensive line. Let's take a look at our second half connection brought to you by AT&T Business. AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, secure. This was that opening touchdown. Beautiful design. Watch as Schoonmaker, the tight end, fakes inside. Then he loops back around, and he's out leading for Ronnie Bell, who finds himself into the end zone. That was the lone touchdown of that first half. The defense, like I said, suffocating. Pitching a shutout so far. The defensive line has been outstanding. Nowhere to run for this Iowa offense. It's one of the reasons why the guys were talking about there at halftime, Gus, Iowa's going to have to cut it loose a little bit. I know that's outside of their comfort zone, but they're going to have to cut it loose in the passing game with Spencer Petras and try to get some things open, in particular across the middle and down the field.
So Petras and the Hawkeyes will have the football to start the second half. Petras 6 of 10 in the first half, 68 yards. But they've got to do something to try to get this ball moving. J.J. McCarthy on the under end. 13 of 18, 105 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He has not thrown an interception this year.
And you could tell he made a couple of decisions in that first half where in the back of his mind he might have wanted to try to force the ball down the middle of the field, but he didn't. And that is clearly going to be the recipe for them in this second half. If he doesn't turn the ball over, I find it really hard to believe that Iowa is going to be able to drive down the field offensively and come back and win this ball game. It all rests on Michigan's ability and their offense's ability to hold on to possession.
Caleb Johnson, the deep man, as Moody sends it away. And Moody kicks this one into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Well, the big question, what does Iowa need to do to sustain some of those drives offensively? You guys were talking about it. I asked Coach Ferentz about it. He said, we just need to finish the play. It's as simple as that. What else can you do? He also said, clean up the penalties. That's not who we are. And defensively, we got to stop the run because we know how dangerous they can be. But he also said, guys' heads are held high. He believes they're in this thing. Harbaugh was very calm at the break. He likes what they're doing. Winning that field position battle. Zero critique for J.J. McCarthy, how he's playing, and likes what the defense is doing. This is a slow build, wants that momentum to continue.
All right, first down and 10 of the 25. Here's Petras to throw it on first down. In trouble, and he'll take the sack. Spencer Petras goes down. Mason Graham with the sack for the Wolverines.
This is a great pass rush from a young defensive lineman, in particular an interior defensive lineman. It takes strength to do this, folks. And what you're going to see from Mason Graham is he stands up and he gets Nick DeJean on his heels and then he pulls him forward. It's push-pull technique, and then he is there in the face of Spencer Petras before he can pull the trigger and throw it down the field.
So that's a loss of 9. Second and 19. Petras will throw it again. Over the middle on the check down. Williams, and he'll get to the 25. Picks up 8. Junior Colson with the stop for the Wolverines.
And if you're Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, all you're thinking about right now is, I don't want to call a defense that gives or leads us to being exposed. So his safeties are going to be back. He's going to allow his defensive line to try to dominate and then rally up and make the tackle.
Third down and 11. Opening series for Iowa here in the second half. Petras hit as he throws and incomplete. No flags on the play. Harrell in coverage. Brecht was the intended receiver. Michael Barrett as well.
Well, Harrell's coming in on this pass rush and does a great job. Loops around, and then he's the one providing pressure. Hits Petras right as he throws. And in the back end, it's Jamon Green providing the coverage. They played man-to-man coverage. And right now, because of the speed and athleticism in this Michigan secondary, Iowa has no ability from their wide receiver perspective to get loose and create space.
Torrey Taylor will punt it away for the Hawkeyes at the 10-yard line. A.J. Henning is the deep man. Heading over to the sideline, signals for the fair catch, and has it at the 32. 43-yard punt. Today's game is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. One of the questions in the contest is, which team will have the longest punt, and how long will it be, Michigan or Iowa? Remember, Tory Taylor has been burning it up this year for the Hawkeyes. Punting is winning is the slogan around here.
There's some wild stats about, like, for instance, when they punt 8 or more times, Tory Taylor, they're 6-1. You know how hard it is to win games when you punt the ball 8 times? It is wild. That's why around here you walk around and you see T-shirts, punting is winning, I root for the punter, or even Tory Taylor for Heisman.
Wow. First down and 10 at the 33-yard line. And they'll hand it off to Corum, who'll crash through. You know, my father was a big loving the punter guy. He thought it was the greatest defensive play in all of football. He would say, son, when in doubt, punt and rely on your defense.
Now, was that a football philosophy or a life?
No, that was a life philosophy. He used to win the Ray Guy Award in our house every year. You know, Daddy punted on that one.
Oh, that's great. There you go. I cheer for the punter. There's the shirts you see around here.
Second down and 6 at the 37. And Corum quietly is racking up some major yardage today, folks. Prior to that run, 17 carries, 83 yards.
I think he is quietly, and maybe not so quietly after last week, but with their level of competition that they've faced, it's hard. But I think he has quietly put himself into the conversation for potentially Gus the Heisman Trophy.
Well, he leads the nation in touchdowns with 9. Blake Corum, folks, is headed for greatness. What an incredible young man. Third down and 1 at the 42, and he'll pick up the first down. It's a 3-yard gain.
Okay, so this is what he's so good at in the short yardage, is that he still maintains his vision. As he's going to come in and jump cut to his right, that's the vision right there where he sees the whole backside. And then he's able to just squeeze in there and get the first down. We saw it twice last week in short yardage situations.
Can the defense even see him behind those big offensive linemen?
No, it's very difficult. That's why it's hard for them, and they've got to fit themselves into those gaps. And then he's right there to move the chains.
Here's McCarthy to throw it to the sideline. Schoonmaker turns it up. Nice run by Luke Schoonmaker. Seth Benson with a tackle. It's a gain of 18 yards. And with Eric all out, Schoonmaker doing a nice job filling in as the #1 tight end.
This, again, a series that we saw repeat itself over and over from that first half. What didn't happen, though, on a regular basis in the first half was that Michigan had to settle for a couple of field goals here. They've got to capitalize this offensive rhythm into a touchdown.
First down at the 37. And here's the option. They throw it out wide for Newton, making Ronnie Bell, and Ronnie Bell plows his way forward, and he'll pick up a first.
Boy, good decision from J.J. McCarthy right there. He comes out. That's this new modern triple option. So he's got the run option right there. Then he can run it if he wants. So he's going to get this, so he's got the run play right here. He can give that. Now he's going to go ahead and keep it. He can run it if he wants, but you see Jack Campbell sitting there defending him. So he throws it out on his third option to Ronnie Bell, who makes a nice run. And we continue to see him as a healthy player. Boy, he's explosive this year, fast and strong.
Gain of 10. First down at the Iowa 27 for the Wolverines. And this may be the toughest defense, aside from Ohio State, that they'll face. They get it off in time. No, they say it is a delay of game, Michigan. Second time they've done that.
The ball was snapped. Timeout, Michigan, their first of the half.
Okay, Michigan does get the timeout. 10:26 to play in the third quarter. Wolverines threatening. Back in a moment. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by T-Mobile. More 5G bars in more places. 13-0, Michigan with the lead and the football. Tomorrow you could be a millionaire by simply playing Fox Bet Super 6 for free. Grab your phone and download the Super 6 app. Then enter your 6 picks in the NFL Sunday Challenge contest. All it takes is 6 correct picks, and you could win really big. 10:26 to play in the third. Michigan facing a 1st and 10 at the Iowa 27. Can they get touchdowns and not settle for field goals is the question. Korn can't get outside, turns it back up, and he'll pick up 2, maybe 3. Jack Campbell with the tackle.
Yeah, as the field condenses, this defense makes it so difficult to score those touchdowns, even with all this ball control. And you see Michigan has done an outstanding job. 48 plays, over 270 yards, 23 minutes time of possession, but it's been Iowa's ability to force them to kick field goals that have kept them somewhat in touch here in the 2-possession game.
2nd and 8 at the 25. No turnovers for the Wolverines thus far. Here's McCarthy. Sideline, Schoolmaker again. He'll get out of bounds with a 1st down.
I tell you, he's making quick decisions today, and I think quicker even than last week. Speaking of J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback right there, he's got Ronnie Bell on a go route on the outside, and as soon as that defense softens up, he came right down to Schoonmaker. McCarthy is growing up before our eyes. Remember, he has not played a ton of football. Spot duty last year. This is only his 4th start, and he's doing a great job.
1st down, Michigan at the 15. Straight ahead handoff. Not a lot of room this time for Donovan Edwards. No gain.
And I'd be remiss, in particular after last week, Gus, and we talked about this. I was critical of at times their play calling rhythm. And these young play callers, Matt Weiss, as well as Sharon Moore, the offensive line coach, sharing play calling duties. But they have been in rhythm today. Now what they've got to do is find that play, in particular in the play action, to potentially pop a wide receiver open down the field to try to get into the end zone.
Blake Corum preparing to go over 100 yards in consecutive games for the first time since the first 3 games of last year. That's a 2-yard pickup. Logan Lee with the tackle. Corum, 21 carries, 95 yards.
And yet here's Iowa's defense still holding strong. Chance to force another field goal opportunity. Even if they were to kick a field goal, it'd still be 2-possession game. So a huge snap right here.
3rd down and 8 at the 13-yard line. Donovan Edwards in the backfield with J.J. McCarthy. Low snap handled by McCarthy. He'll sprint out. Turns the corner. Throws. Caught. Touchdown Wolverines. Donovan Edwards. McCarthy making chicken salad. And the Wolverines extend their lead. 19-0.
Boy, this is just a player making a play right here. You're going to get the blitz right here from Jack Campbell. What you should get is a little hot route from Edwards, but McCarthy doesn't like it right away, so he just runs around Jack Campbell, or excuse me, Luke Van Ness, and he just throws it to the back of the end zone, and there he is, wide open, Donovan Edwards for a touchdown from Michigan. Boy, how nice is it to have a quarterback with the athleticism of J.J. McCarthy, just gets himself outside, and it's an easy completion to the back of the end zone.
Wolverines cover 10 plays, 67 yards to pay dirt as J.J. McCarthy finds his man in the end zone. Moody in to attempt the extra point. Now you're starting to hear the boo birds here at Kinnick Stadium. Not happy with the way the Hawkeyes are playing. Extra point good. 20-0. JJ. Nice throw. Good catch. Wolverines up 20-0. 20-0. Michigan on top of Iowa on the road. J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards yucking it up on the sideline. They feel good as you take a look at the drive. 10 plays, 67 yards. Wolverines eat up 5 minutes and 32 seconds. But more importantly, that defense has had an opportunity to sit on the sideline and get some rest. They've been getting manicures and pedicures over there.
They've just been sitting over there chilling.
Yeah, checking out their schedule. What class do I have this week?
Shining up the turnover buffs.
That's right. The Cartiers. Tonight on Fox, the fight for the NL East is on as Pete Alonso and the Mets take on Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves, or the Rays take on the Astros. The action begins at 7 Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area. Iowa now will start at the 25.
And what a huge play that was, because now doesn't it feel so much different, right? 16, you feel like it's 2 possessions, 20-0, and you feel like this offense has got to put it in gear immediately.
And we'll hand it off Caleb Johnson with a hole. Johnson picks up first down, a little bit more. Lowers his shoulder at the end of the run. DJ Turner with the tackle, gain of 12.
So that's the outside stretch play. Okay, you can see how far it hits front side to the outside. His aiming point is all the way out at the tight end. And Gus, that has been their most successful offensive concept so far today. His aiming point is way outside at the tight end. It's hard for the defense to float all the way over the top, and they got it blocked up perfectly.
Longest run of the day for Iowa. 1st and 10 of the 37. Johnson again trying to squeeze through, not this time. 2-yard gain. Jimmy Rolder brings him down.
I really do like Caleb Johnson. You know, I think this is a guy that by the end of the year will be the featured back. And that's important to this offense, because if they can't run the ball, nothing else can get started. They're just not a team that's going to drop back 30, 40 times and be successful. So they've got to get in there and start running the ball successfully, and I think Caleb Johnson gives them the best chance.
2nd and 8. Laporta, the motion man. Johnson will stretch it out left side. Gets past the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play. He'll go down.
You know, Nico Reganey came in from all the way on the outside, and he blocked the safety, I believe it was, kind of in the back, in the side, and I think that's what they're going to call here.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Offense number 89. 15-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
You know, all of these new style rules have really made it difficult. Watch, he's going to come up. He's going to come all the way up to that 2nd level. Bam, that player started in the front, so you can't come from outside of the front and block into the side like that. His head's behind him as he hits Makari Page, number 7. And an easy call from the officials there.
So that'll make it 2nd down and 21 at the Iowa 26. And Sean Williams in the game. Now at running back, spelling Caleb Johnson.
We'll reset the play clock to 25 seconds. 2nd down.
Man, when Iowa's offense is on the field, nothing has rhythm. Play clock has problems. I mean, it's just like, and you got to credit Michigan's defense for a lot of this as well. And in particular, Gus, I think the most dominant area of their defense today has been that D-line. They've been outstanding up front.
2nd and 21 at the 26. Petrus lines up. Almost intercepted. Wow, DJ Turner couldn't hold on to it. But Turner, if he could have held on to that football, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, and this coverage, he's just reading the eyes of the quarterback the entire time. He's able to break down on that outside route from Reganey, and he almost had that in his hands, and you're absolutely right. He would have been gone. The Iowa faithful know that this offense right now is just not cutting it. They are totally one-dimensional. Michigan has taken them out of their ability to run the football whatsoever, and at that point, it's just going to be tough sledding for this offense trying to throw it up and down the field.
Right now, Iowa having a hard time just getting it across midfield. 3rd down and 21 of the 26. Petrus in trouble, and he's sacked again. This time it's Mike Morris, the senior from Belgrade, Florida. Another sack for the Wolverines.
Well, he's going to come first knock into the center right there, and he's trying to free up his teammate, but in the process frees himself up. And Mike Morris is there with another sack, and he's the type of guy that they talked about to us this week, and they thought, hey, one of the guys we can get going from a pass rush perspective is number 90, Mike Morris, and there he is showing up with a sack.
So Torrey Taylor has to punt it inside his own 5. A.J. Henning is the deep man. Henning with it, with some room, and A.J. Henning crosses the 40, flag on the play. DeJean with the tackle on special teams.
This one will be coming back. We'll be back in Michigan up here.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 28. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
All right, Quentin Johnson called for the penalty on special teams. Back after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Progressive. One thing no one would ever challenge, protecting your home and car with Progressive. And by Rocket Mortgage, when you want an edge in a competitive market, Rocket can. The last time Michigan won an Iowa game, won at Iowa, came in 2005. It took overtime, but the Wolverines won the game 23-20. They've lost their last 4 in Kinnick. First down and 10 to the 21. McCarthy. That's Donovan Edwards. Donovan Edwards just gives him so much. He is such a versatile offensive player.
Really love his game. You're exactly right. That's its perfect description. Versatile. He's a really good running back. Either between the tackles, he's got the patience of Quorum, he's got speed on the outside, he can catch it as well as anybody out of the backfield or line up as a wide receiver. And Iowa fans will remember this and probably cringe. Remember that double pass in the Big Ten championship game? It was Donovan Edwards hitting Roman Wilson on a big pass.
McCarthy hit as he throws. They'll chase it down. Should be an incompletion. Edwards with the recovery. And it was a...
Rolling on the field is a fumble by the offense. Recovered by the offense.
It was a fumble.
Well, he gets hit as he's trying to release this ball. It's just a matter of whether that hand was coming forward.
It was certainly coming forward.
Yeah, I thought it was as well. But it was backwards nonetheless. Even if they deemed that his hand was moving forward, then it was a backwards pass and then still would be a fumble. So it doesn't really matter what was going on in his hand. That ball is live, and Donovan Edwards was able to go recover it.
Great hustle play by Edwards. Third down and 27. And Michigan will just give their punter some breathing room as they run it. Wagner with the tackle.
That's exactly the type of play that Iowa needed and almost lull you to sleep, right? I mean, there's just no life in this game for Iowa. And then all of a sudden the ball is trickling towards the end zone where you feel like Iowa could maybe even scoop and score. And they certainly changed the field position here. You got to wonder if they're going to try to come after this punt, just try to get something going from a scoreboard perspective. And that's exactly what Jim Harbaugh was trying to avoid.
Brad Robbins punting near the back of his own end zone. Arlen Bruce hovering around the 40-yard line. Robbins, no pressure. And this one out of bounds near the 40, a 36-yard punt. Coming up, Iowa on 0. In 2013, Devin Gardner and Michigan were looking for their first win in Iowa City since 2005, and they were well on their way, leading 21-7 at half. Then they didn't score a point in the second half. Hawkeyes scored 17 unanswered points on their way to winning 24-21. Kirk Ferentz, 24 years as the head coach here at Iowa. Iowa's winningest coach, having passed Hayden Fry 4 seasons ago. This will be Iowa's 4th play in Michigan territory. Johnson lowering his shoulders.
This is the moment that if you're Iowa, you got to, I mean, this is kitchen sink time, right? You've got, this is the best field position. You haven't done anything offensively, You've got to find a way to get this ball in the end zone if you want any chance at all.
2nd and 4 at the 38. Johnson cuts it back short of the first down.
Caleb Johnson, the ball carrier.
Mason Graham defensively for the Wolverines.
It starts here on a 3rd and short. You got to bow up that offensive line and go get this first down. Make sure you move the chains before you can maybe build yourself into a bigger play call and take advantage of something down the field.
Third and 1. Out of the eye. Williams, the deep man. Play fake. Petrus lobs it. He's got his man. Pottebaum. And Pottebaum with a nice gain. DJ Turner with the tackle. First down, 17-yard reception.
And there they finally just sneak that fullback Pottebaum just right past the defender. Nice little play action pass. So here's the play action right here, and you're going to get this defender in conflict. So Harrell's got a decision to make. Am I going to take the fullback or am I going to defend the run? They slip the fullback right down the numbers, and he's wide open there for a good completion and a chance now inside the 20-yard line.
First down and 10 at the Michigan 18. 58 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Petrus guns it. Incomplete. Intended for Reganey.
He has him. That's the right read, and he just misses him. And that's, again, a few times that Kirk Ferentz has seen his quarterback have the right throw. They've got the right concept. The protection is there, and he just missed him. 6 drives, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals in the red zone. 33% touchdown percentage. That's the worst in Power 5.
2nd and 10. Here's Petrus to throw it again. He's got his man wide open. It's Reganey, and Reganey will crash down inside the 5, loses his helmet, and a flag on the play. Green with the tackle.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 65, 15-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
That's a center, Logan Jones.
Number 9 of Iowa lost his helmet on the play, must leave the game for 1 down.
So watching the background here, as you see Reganey going, and there's the takedown. 65, Logan Jones going to the ground, and that's Mike Sainrissil that he's fighting with right there. Sainrissil was blitzing from his nickel position, and that's the takedown in the back end as Reganey loses his helmet on his way to the ground. And how many times have we seen that? Gus, I swear it's every single big play that Iowa has. There's laundry on the field, and it's coming back because of usually an offensive line miscue.
Five penalties for 59 yards for the Hawkeyes today. I don't know, Joel, that looked like a pretty good hit to me. It didn't look dirty.
It's just so far behind the play when you're trying to drive and with the intent to drive someone into the ground. I think that you're always going to draw the attention of the official, and the laundry's going to come out. I didn't think it was a bad call. The only thing that I would say is it looked like Sainristil had his arms also around Logan Jones, almost like they were in a wrestling match. You know, a great wrestling squad here in Iowa, and kind of looked like they were both wrestling each other to the ground. But certainly if you're going to drive someone that late behind the play, you're going to draw the attention of the official and force the official to make a decision.
So that'll make it 2nd down and 25 from the 33. Petrus underneath route, and this is caught by Arlen Bruce, but not much there. He gained 3 yards, maybe 4. 26 seconds and counting remaining in this 3rd quarter. Iowa May just let this clock wind down and head to the fourth. Third and 22. And he'll get it off. Here's Petrus. Nice throw. First down. Reganey. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. A 28-yard gain.
Best pass of the day from Petrus. There's Reganey, and as he's going for the pylon, where does his foot go out? Here's the stretch. There's the foot. Out at the 2. Ball right there at the 1. Clearly short. Great call by the official there as Rod Moore came in, number 19. As we're headed to the fourth quarter. Best offensive play for Iowa. More importantly, Gus, no flags on the play.
Trying to find out if the quarter is officially over, and it is. So coming up, the fourth quarter from Iowa City, Michigan with a big lead, but Iowa knocking on the door.
All the hard work for the whole season right here.
This October on Fox and FS1, the National League's biggest stars lead their teams in a fight for the crown.
Nothing better than October.
The NLDS, October 11th on Fox and FS1.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. We're ready for the fourth quarter. Michigan with the big lead. Iowa, though, trying to get it in the end zone, and they do. Touchdown, Caleb Johnson. And the Hawkeyes are finally on the board.
There's that same stretch zone play. Gus, I talked about it earlier. This has been their most successful play. Way outside is the aiming point for Caleb Johnson. Outside of the end man on the line of scrimmage, and he stays front side, makes it to the pylon. Michigan has been unable to stop that particular run concept all day. It's been the most successful thing Iowa has done, and they use it to get into the end zone.
Drew Stevens in for the extra point, and it's good. 7 plays covering 44 yards. Caleb Johnson, looks like they found their running back of the future. First touchdown in 13 quarters of play versus Michigan.
And it should be noted, that was set up by that quality defensive series. Remember, they got to McCarthy, the ball came loose. Donovan Edwards was able to recover, but what happened is that they got the ball in plus territory. That is Iowa football. They've got to build themselves into success with field possession, ball possession, all of those things, and they're finally able to do it here in the fourth quarter. That's why this next series for Michigan is so important, to get back into rhythm and to get a couple of first downs, because again, Gus, even though that was a good offensive series for Iowa, I just don't think Iowa can go 80 yards against Michigan a couple of times here in the fourth quarter. So Michigan's job from an offensive perspective is field position. Hang on to the ball.
Now remember, this Iowa defense, they're the #1 team in the nation, the #1 scoring defense. They know how to force turnovers. So J.J. McCarthy and the Wolverines have to be really careful, because you know this Iowa defense is going to be inspired. And they're one of the best in the country. The #1 scoring defense, #6 total defense, and the #6 rushing defense. They rank 14th in the nation against the pass.
Pacific Life game summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Well, this was the opening touchdown of the game. Early in the first quarter, Ronnie Bell, a nice little flip from J.J. McCarthy. He found the end zone. Then McCarthy, beautiful scramble. He found Donovan Edwards in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. But Iowa finds some life here late. They get a short field, and Caleb Johnson is able to punch it in. And Iowa has a sliver of hope here in the fourth quarter.
So Michigan starts at their own 25, first down. Corum skipping, and Corum caught right at the line of scrimmage. Ethan Herkett with the tackle. And it's a 2-yard gain for the Wolverines.
And this defense has got to come up with their best possession so far of the day. Michigan has been able to sustain drives all day long.
2nd and 8. Donovan Edwards in the backfield. Here comes a blitz. Michigan picks it up. Near side, Ronnie Bell leans forward and he's a yard short of the first down. Sebastian Castro with the tackle.
Well, they got him short of those chains, so here's your opportunity. And from Phil Parker's perspective, defensive coordinator for Iowa, this might be your chance to try to get off the field right here. Might want to send a pressure and get Michigan out of rhythm and try to stop this run game before it gets started.
3rd down and 1 at the 34.
Look at them all up there at the line of scrimmage, Gus. All the Hawkeyes right there at the line of scrimmage.
Blake Corum returns. And they'll give it to Corum, and he will not get it. Blake Corum will not get the first down. The Iowa defense holds. They tried to snap it quickly, but the Hawkeye says, And Iowa will be prepared to get it again.
Look at all these Iowa Hawkeyes. Great job of staying low under the pads of Michigan. In those short yardage situations, it's who can get lower, and they win the leverage game, and they stop Michigan and force the punt.
Brad Robbins punting it away from his own 19. The crowd back into this game after Michigan took the air out of the stadium in the first half. Robbins. And they'll take a Michigan bounce and be downed at the 17. But coming up, Iowa with the football after the stop on 3rd and short. Hawkeyes with momentum. Let's see what they do with it after this. Big News Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for more than 150 years. Look at the Hawkeye. He got a little frustrated.
Well, I feel like that was like the first 3 quarters, right? The original plan wasn't working, and so now let's just do it by force. And we finally got some life here for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
So Iowa with the football now. 1st down and 10 at the 17. Caleb Johnson's been having some success running the football. He's the deep man in the eye. They give it to him. 2nd man through, and he'll get to the line of scrimmage and go backwards.
See, it's not open in the interior, Gus. They can't run right at those defensive tackles. And that's like a throwaway 1st down call. Brian Ferentz has got to build on the success that he had earlier in the game. The only thing that's worked in the run game is those wide stretch plays. So that's where you've got to stay. Call the wide stretch play and then throw a play action off of that action.
2nd down and 9 at the 18. You sound like a coach sometimes. You thinking about it?
Oh, no. What's open?
Here's Petrus, rolls out. On the move, and nice throw. Great catch. Nico Reganey starting to take a step forward for these Iowa receivers. He gains 10.
And what happened? Did you see that play action? What did it come off of? That zone stretch style run concept. And then Petrus can boot outside and find an open receiver. That's allowing the success of the previous drives to build for the success of the future.
Reganey, 3 catches, 49 yards. Petrus over the middle, seam pass, caught, and more room. What a job. This time, it's Luke Lachey, and he'll gain 35.
Easily the best pass he's thrown all day long. He missed this one earlier in the game. Remember, he overthrew his tight end down the seam. That one, he lays it perfectly right on the chest of Lachey, who was locked in a great battle there, one-on-one coverage
with Junior Colson.
How about the concentration there to bring that one in a contested catch?
1st and 10 at the 38 for Iowa. Here's Petrus, sets up, crossing route, caught. Arlen Bruce dropped quickly, but he'll gain 4 yards. Jalen Harrell with the tackle.
And finally, we see some life out of this offense. And it's really been off of the success of Caleb Johnson, the young running back, and then the play action pass. And that's why it's so important that they gain some yardage on those first down plays. Stay in 2nd and 6 or shorter so that they can still have the ability to affect the defense with a run fake.
2nd and 6 at the 34. Johnson, the single setback. Laporta in motion. Here's Johnson on the give. Trying to get outside, and it'll be tackled for a loss by Jalen Harrell. That's a 1-yard loss.
That is a beautiful job from Jalen Harrell. He's the outside guy. Thus, he's responsible for what's called contain. What does that mean, Joel? That means no one's supposed to get outside of him. His outside arm always has to remain free. And there he was able to shed the block and get the ball carrier who was trying to get outside of that outside arm.
Big series here for Iowa. Down 20-7. 3rd and 7 at the 35. LaShawn Williams checks in at running back. He'll give it to him straight ahead. Williams, first down, Hawkeyes. 9-yard gain on 3rd and 7.
Best run on the interior of this defense all day long. Good job by that right side of the offensive line. Excellent job by Connor Colby, number 77. He gets up to the linebacker, gets Junior Colson blocked, and there's Rod Moore who has to come up and make the tackle.
Caleb Johnson comes back in. 1st and 10 at the 26. Play fake. Petrus, backside. Laporta breaks a tackle. Laporta still running hard, dives forward, and gets down to the Michigan 18. Mike Morris had to grab his ankle. Well, what an effort of breaking that tackle in the backfield.
I was just going to say, the individual effort. It's so tough to run a screen against man defense because there's the defender right in the face of Laporta. He swats him away, then gives a stiff arm, and he gets down close to the chains. Unbelievable individual effort from the best offensive player Iowa has.
Wolverine down 20-7. 8:56 to play in the 4th. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In 2016, Michigan came into Iowa City ranked number 2 in the AP poll. They left with a loss. Iowa kicked a field goal as time expired to beat the Wolverines 14-13. It's a Jim Harbaugh team. 0-3 as a player and coach here at Kinnick. 2nd down and 3. They'll hand it off. Johnson looking for the first. He won't get it. No gain on the play. Chris Jenkins, first man to him.
They're going to feel like they can still run the ball here because we're in 4-down territory. Limited possessions left, in particular with their style. That's why they ran it on the last 3rd down. It was about 3rd and 5. They handed the ball off here. Hand off, play action, everything at his disposal.
3rd down and 5 at the 19. Here's LaShawn Williams looking for the first, and he has it. Nice cutback by LaShawn Williams, the sophomore from Chicago.
They had no success running at the interior of that defense until really the last couple of series. And credit this offensive line. They have started to get push up front, playing physical football. This young offensive line trying to develop into a group that they can rely on. And here in the last couple of series, it's certainly been that.
They've definitely been moving people. 1st and 10 at the Michigan 14 for the Hawkeyes. Petrus in the flats has his receiver. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 10, Nico Reganey. Nico Reganey has really given this team some energy as he gained 6 yards there.
And early in the year, he just wasn't available. It's one of the reasons they struggled so mightily to begin the year. He had a foot injury, and here, being physical at the end of the run, trying to put his pads down and gain some extra yards, which he's able to do.
Had the best games of his career in succession in October of 2019 against Michigan and Penn State. 2nd and 4 at the 8. Petrus Laporta, but he's immediately dropped by Rod Moore. No gain.
It's a terrific tackle from Moore. He was in just straight man, and as soon as Laporta broke outside on his route, Rod Moore was flying up from his safety position and was there right when he touched the ball. Beautiful defense.
12th play of the drive coming that started at the Iowa 17. Can they pay it off? That's the question. Rashawn Williams back in the backfield. Petrus out of the shotgun. Petrus with the handoff to Williams, and he won't get the first down. On 3rd and 4, he gained 2.
Well, this feels like the ball game right here. You just don't know how many possessions you're going to get back. They could maybe get a couple more possessions if they can't move the chains here, but 4th down, you get the sense they've handoff. I think this is time where you get big like this. Couple tight ends, big play action. Watch them trying to sneak the fullback out in the flat.
Caleb Johnson, the deep man in the I formation. Here's Petrus rolling, throwing, and a flag on the play late. Laporta, the receiver, he didn't have enough for the first. Will John standing over him. But let's see.
Pass interference. Offense number 10. The penalty is declined. The result of the play, 1st down, Michigan. Timeout.
I don't know, partner. Michigan will get the football back as Iowa turns it over on downs. (20-7), Michigan with the lead. As Iowa turns the ball over on downs. Corum. And you know Michigan is going to try to run it as much as they can to milk that clock. 5:33 and counting. Michigan with 2 timeouts, Iowa with 2.
And that's why safety Kayvon Merriweather was down so low in the run defense. Iowa is now, they have to commit all of their resources to stopping that run, trying to get the ball back as quickly as they possibly can. That's why on the other side, J.J. McCarthy, he's got to hold that formation and not snap the football until the play clock is under 4.
2nd down and 8. 4 seconds, it's snapped, and they'll run it. Corum tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage.
I mean, this defense, they got to commit to the run. I think Michigan is probably going to run again here and bank on their defense being able to stop that Iowa offense here on the ensuing possession.
3rd down and 7 at the 8-yard line. McCarthy will throw it. Sideline, ball deflected out of bounds. Clock stops at 4:12.
Well, that's certainly not what you want, is to stop the clock for the opposition. In particular, when it's still a 2-possession game. You know, those essentially 40 seconds are big. You're going to punt it anyways. You either force Iowa to take a timeout, save those 40 seconds, or get it well inside the 3-minute mark. Don't know why they threw it, but he astutely didn't put the ball in harm's way and was able to just throw it away.
Michigan's 3rd consecutive 3-and-out. Robbins out of his own end zone. Arlen Bruce is the deep man. And Robbins gets it away. Bruce backpedaling. Has it at the 40. Slips. Regains his footing. And goes down at the 41. 51-yard punt. Sainra still with the tackle. Welcome back to Iowa City, 20-7 Michigan. Their first road game of the season. They're the 4th-ranked team in the country. Iowa has shown some offensive improvement here in this 4th quarter. First down and 10 for Spencer Petras at his own 42. Petras in trouble, and Petras sacked again. Second sack of the day for Mike Morris. And that's a crusher.
Great win with speed from Mike Morris. That right side of the offensive line working on Connor Colby, and he just beat him right away around that outside and got to Petras, and he has shown up now in critical moments when they've needed it. They've been wondering about this pass rush. Where's it going to come from? Well, number 90 is answering that question.
Petras. And hit as he throws again. Incomplete. Mike Morris again. This time with the quarterback pressure. 2 sacks on the quarterback pressure.
What I love here is he goes outside first, and then he sets Connor Colby up and goes back inside. He beats him outside on the last play, now comes back inside, showing the repertoire of pass rushing moves, and he gets to Petras right when he releases the ball.
3rd down and 19. Here's Petras. And Petras dragged down again. Look at this Michigan defense.
Yabi Oki. This guy, they feel like he's got huge upside. Oki comes in pass rushing situations. This is a former 5-star player, top 5 player in the country, but he has bounced around. Look at that dip low, working on Colby again, who gets beat for the 3rd straight snap. And Oki is able to hang on with one arm and get Petras down to the ground.
So that'll make it 4th down and 24. Iowa throwing caution to the wind here. Petras. Hit again. Incomplete. Yabi Oki back-to-back plays. And this Michigan defensive line coming up huge. They miss Aiden Hutchinson. They miss David Ajabo. But there's some new guys here, folks, that you want to pay attention to. Most notably, Mike Morris and Yabi Oki, the Alabama transfer.
Take a look at some college football mayhem with our mayhem moment, sponsored by Allstate. It's that last sack. Beautiful job. That ball comes loose. Oki in there again, and they did it 4 different ways. Gus, I love the design of that. Individual pass rushing, and then there a defensive line stunt to get to the quarterback.
Here's Corum. And Mike McDonald left to go back to the Ravens to be their defensive coordinator. Is this still the same Ravens kind of defense?
It's the exact same defense. Jesse Minter, the new defensive coordinator, he was in the running to be the defensive coordinator last year as well. In fact, when Jim Harbaugh needed a coordinator last year, Gus, who'd he call? His brother. We talked about it all year. He said, well, here's Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter. Pick between the two. Jim says, well, which one do you think? He says they're both great. He went with Mike McDonald. Jesse Minter went to Vanderbilt last year to coordinate down there in college football, and now he's here with Michigan, and it's year 2 in this defense schematically for the players, even though it's a new defensive coordinator. And right there, he dialed up some great pressure. One, you get a great pass rusher like Mike Morris, individual win a couple of times. Then you allow a guy that's even faster, more explosive, Yabi Oki, to come in, and then to pack it off.
And the Harbaugh brothers Jim and John, or John and Jim, they know how to work together.
Yeah, they do, because they've been trading coaches like this for a long time. We talked about Mike McDonald, John's assistant, Jim's DC, and then John back there with the Ravens. Jesse Minter, he was with the Ravens. Now he's at Michigan. And even Matt Weiss, the co-offensive coordinator, started as a grad assistant for Jim Harbaugh all the way back at Stanford, was John's assistant with Baltimore, and now comes back and is with Jim here at Michigan. And these are really good young coaches. You know, a lot of credit goes out to these guys because they're getting their first breaks, Gus, to do this. And Jim wants them all to grow as coaches. That's why he's got the co-offensive coordinator title with Sharon Moore and Matt Weiss. And Jesse Minter getting a chance to do it here at the highest level in college football.
Here's Corum. Stays in bounds. Corum over 100 yards rushing.
There's Jesse Minter. Did a great job today, didn't he? They had that one possession, really a couple of possessions where Iowa started to get loose. But, boy, they just stayed patient, did a great job up front. This feels a lot like it's the same week of the season, Gus, a game you and I called a year ago. Remember when they went to Wisconsin last year, beat Wisconsin, and then went on to have that sensational season? This feels a little bit like that. And this is their schedule upcoming. Indiana next week, a huge one against the Nittany Lions in the Big House before they try to enact a bit of revenge against Mel Tucker and the Michigan State Spartans, who have beaten them 2 straight years.
What's happening with Michigan State this year?
Boy, I tell you what, they defensively are not even close, to be quite honest. And Minnesota went up there and just hammered them in their own building a week ago. It doesn't seem like the same type of team that we saw last year, certainly, and that's what happens when a guy like Kenneth Walker, takes his talents to the NFL.
Corum. And Corum, nice in and out move, Blake Corum. Touchdown, Wolverines. Oh, he gave him a shimmy shake. A lip leg.
Let's go.
Watch this move by Blake Corum.
Got to get ready for his power because he's got it. He can hit you. What'd he do, Gus? What'd he do?
Here,
okay,
right
here
here.
it goes. Right.
Right there.
Woo. Okay. All right, Blake Corum. We see you.
People in Detroit, Blake Corum could have been a West Side Cub. Corum now continuing to add to his totals. He leads FBS with his 10th rushing touchdown. Let's go down to JT.
Well, guys, I know we've been telling the Blake Corum story, how much his family means to him, the sacrifice. His mom, dad, sisters, everyone was sacrificing to drive him long hours to and from practice. And when I caught up with him this week, he said, there's a picture that I keep looking at. I've been looking at it all week. It's a touchdown from last weekend where he is turning and looking back at his dad, James, wearing that jersey. He said, I do it all for them. This journey is far from over, but all that sacrifice and just to see him and how it's paying off for him, Blake Corum does it all for that family support.
10 rushing touchdowns on the season. Leads the nation. Blake Corum. And his totals over the last 2 games, 376 yards rushing.
And almost 60 carries. 30 carries a week ago.
29 today.
29 today. And in the 59th carry, what did he give? A little dead leg. Give him a shake, and then he's out.
Great.
I'll tell you what. Man, he is really good.
I tell you, when you look at the Big Ten this year between Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State, going down the stretch,
it's going to be unbelievable.
This could be epic.
Yeah.
I saw the Buckeyes the other night against, they playing?
Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin's not as good as they normally are, but that Ohio State offense,
I think it's the best offense in the country.
and Njig was hurt with a hamstring.
So when he comes back,
Oh my goodness.
what had happened was
Iowa, Big Ten chance, we got it done.
this
Let's go, Blue.
this rivalry, though, it's got juice.
And only Ohio State's only playing with 3 scholarship cornerbacks. So they got to get healthy in the back end.
Listen, no one watching this game feels sorry for Ohio State.
Over the middle, caught at the 45-yard line.
This time it's Brecht.
I think what's going to go unnoticed here late because his numbers aren't going to pop off the page. J.J. McCarthy passed a huge test today. First start on the road, young quarterback against this defense. Another pressure. Jeez, Mike Morris just doing work over there. Spencer Petras is going to wake up number 90 in his nightmares.
J.J. McCarthy, 18 of 24, 155 yards passing, a touchdown, no picks. His long on the day, 29 yards. And Morris looks like he may be cramping up with 57 seconds remaining.
Do you know why he's down right now?
Why is that?
Let me show you. Because he's been absolutely crushing it. This defense, this defensive line, getting after the quarterback, Spencer Petras. They've been doing it from the second level. Harold's gotten in there, but then late, Mike Morris showed up and was dominant late. There's Yabioki. He gets in there a couple of different times, and Iowa has had no chance, none whatsoever, because of that front seven, because of the pass rush, and because of guys like Mike Morris, the senior from Belgrade, Florida. 6'6", 292 pounds, and he is quick, he is fast, and he's a guy, I tell you, they keep developing. Yeah, it might not be Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo, but Gus, they've got guys that are developing into great pass rushers.
And that's what Urban Meyer said on the pregame show. He said last week, the most important thing during this first quarter of the season is to develop players so that by the time you get to those big games, they're ready to play. Over the middle. Caught at the 40-yard line. And this time it's Alec Wick.
And that was really, as you and I talked about this team, I thought that was the only question we really had is, okay, how are they really going to try to replace or replicate the pass rush that they had a year ago?
Sideline, incomplete. That one in and out of the hands of Nico Reganey.
And to your point, and to Coach's point.
Foul, roughing the passer, defense number 91, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Taylor Upshaw.
That development seems to have happened. And now, in the second half of this game here in Iowa City, that pass rush, Gus, was dominant when they needed it the most.
Iowa traditionally has a wonderful offensive line. That's what they're known for, offensive linemen and tight ends.
This is a really young group.
But these guys, yes, are young. J.J. McCarthy knows where his bread is buttered. Gives Morris a big hug. Petras, here comes a blitz. Caught over the middle. Lachey, first down with 29 seconds to go.
I just can feel every Iowa fan watching this, and it's like, well, why can they do this now?
Would you say Michigan's backed off a little bit?
Yes, there's no doubt. In particular, in terms of their coverage style in the back end, soft coverage.
Petras in the end zone, touchdown. Lachey with 8 seconds remaining.
Tell you, one bright spot for Iowa today offensively has been the play of Luke Lachey. We all know how good of a player Sam Laporta is, the other tight end. Laporta had 5 grabs today, but Luke Lachey has been his equal and is giving Iowa a second threat in that passing game.
That's Lachey's first career touchdown. Extra point good, 27-14. Next week, Big Noon Saturday continues to follow the Wolverines. This time we're heading to Indiana. Joel, Jenny, and I will be joined by Rob, Brady, Reggie, Matt, and Coach Meyer. It all starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with Big Noon Saturday, only on Fox. So we're going to be staying in Indianapolis, Joel. A couple of great restaurants there that I want to take you to.
Which one?
The restaurant I like going to is a steakhouse that has this really interesting, it's called St. Elmo's. I'm going to introduce you to the shrimp cocktail. I think you'll like it.
Is it spicy?
It's got a little wasabi in it.
Can't wait.
Okay, can't wait.
Or isn't that horseradish?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, but just a little.
This gives you the same effect.
It's just a little spark. It's not going to hurt you too bad.
It's just a little kick.
More than a kick. 8 seconds remaining in the game. It's Iowa. Stevens. And he'll pooch it. Short. And a knee is taken at the 25.
You know, this Iowa team, they don't have a cakewalk next week. They have to go to Illinois. I know you might be thinking, like, what are you talking about? Illinois is hammering Wisconsin today. 34-10 in Madison. Brett Bielema is doing a nice job there. They've got a really good young defensive coordinator named Ryan Walters, and that defense is playing really well. This is their upcoming slate. Then they've got to go to the shoe. So it does not get easier for Iowa after this one.
Michigan, no turnovers. McCarthy still interception free this season. Corum with his 6th 100-yard game of his career and 2nd in a row. And he leads the nation with 10 rushing touchdowns. Michigan with 4 sacks today, all in the second half, and numerous other pressures. And the Wolverines come into Iowa City and win their first road game. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny Tapp.
Coach Harbaugh, congrats on the win. We said going into this one, it's where top 5 teams can go to die. You survived it. How'd you do it today?
A really gritty performance. I thought our guys just really strained and played really hard. And these are the guys you should talk to. This guy had one great game, Mike. Congratulations, man.
Tell me about Mike. Why is he so special? Then I'll let you go.
Huge motor. I mean, look at the guy. He's 6'7", 290 pounds, and he's got a big heart right there.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. All right, Mike, I got to talk to you. And that is so true. What a game. 2 sacks for you. This defense, really, you set a tone today. What can you say about your guys out there?
I told them before, I told them at halftime that they're going to throw everything they got at us. The coaches told us the first drive, they're going to throw everything they have, everything out of their bag at us. And we took the punches. They punched us twice, actually, but I feel like we stepped up to the plate. And, big-time players made big-time plays. And it was a team effort. Everybody stepped up to the plate. Everybody did their job. DBs covered. We rushed the passer.
These guys right here showed up when they needed to.
JJ, you know these guys so well. You go up against them in practice. What about this group is so impressive?
I mean, it's their nonstop determination every single play. They never stop. They go balls to the wall every single play, and then they just have those God-given abilities that just make them so special. So, yeah, I'm happy to see that they're going against another opponent. I'm not going to lie.
Fair enough. They did their job. You did yours. What can you tell me about this road test for you, JJ, today?
I mean, it was huge. Just from a team standpoint, this is our first road game, and especially coming into Kinnick with just the history of everything, it was just really awesome to get it done. Now we're on to the next week.
There's so much to be said about the culture of this group. It was established last year. How high is the ceiling for this Michigan football team?
I mean, we're not even scratching yet. We're still we're still learning. Every week we're getting better, and that's what makes this team just so dangerous. We're nowhere near how good we can be. And it's practice, we really try each other. We go extremely hard in practice, and it makes moments like this, it makes it a little bit easier.
I love this. Every week we're going to add a player. So next week, 4 guys. Well done. Congratulations.
No, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all.
Yabi Oki, J.J. McCarthy, and Mike Morris, 3 of the stars of this game as the Wolverines remain undefeated. They'll head to Bloomington next week to take on Indiana.
I'll tell you, if their quarterback is going to play that controlled in a really tough environment, they're going to be dangerous. And if that pass rush comes alive, watch out. Watch out for these Wolverines, folks. This is a really, really good football team.
The final score here at Kinnick Stadium, Michigan 27, Iowa 14. We will have more from Iowa City with Rob Stone and the guys after this break. For Jenny Taft and Joel Klatt, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long from Iowa City and have a wonderful day.